Good morning, Guardians. Briar Rabbit here. We are only 18 days away from the launch of Rise of Iron on September 20th. Hype levels are at an all-time high, and we actually got some brand new info yesterday in the form of the Game Informer podcast. On yesterday's podcast, Game Informer actually spoke to Rise of Iron game director Chris Barrett and executive producer Scott Taylor. They asked them a bunch of community-submitted questions. Now, this felt like a lot of detail cleanup, right? We knew the broad overscope of what Rise of Iron is going to be, but a lot of people had very minute questions, about engrams, about the Gunsmith, and a lot of these questions were answered. Some of them were deflected, some of them they want to keep secret, but the most relevant information that I pulled out of this podcast was there will be no sandbox update or weapon and subclass rebalancing with the Rise of Iron. They might do it a little bit later when they see how the new weapons, how the new exotics kind of play out inside the Crucible, inside the meta. However, right at the release of Rise of Iron, there will not be a big sandbox update. The Gunsmith's inventory will seemingly not get a refresh. So if you're hoping for a Suro sniper rifle or a brand new foundry, looks like you're going to have to wait on that. The weapons he sells now will be a higher light level, but again, no brand new weapons from the Gunsmith with Rise of Iron, which is a little bit disappointing. We can expect to see more Black Spindle style hidden quests inside Rise of Iron. While they won't be exactly like the Black Spindle quest, they will be out there. We will be uncovering them after the release of Rise of Iron. That was one of the most exciting pieces of the Taken King after the launch, was that it seemed like at any day we could go on Reddit and find out, holy cow, there's a brand new quest, there's a brand new item, there's a brand new weapon that's available. Start working on it today, or start grinding for it today. Get into that daily mission, do this daily mission a certain way, and you will actually uncover a brand new exotic weapon. We expect to see some more of that with Rise of Iron. This was kind of confirmed in the Game Informer podcast, and they actually let slip that one of them may be connected to the Fellwinter Peak social space. We also found out that private matches will count toward Grimoire score. So if you're working on that last bit of Grimoire score, but you need Rumble wins or you need doubles wins, you'll actually be able to set up a public match to do that. Now, a lot of players may be upset because it will allow other players to boost their Grimoire score. However, I don't really see it as a big deal because the Grimoire score isn't actually attached to anything in the game. It's purely a way to look at information on Bungie's website through the Grimoire cards. So it really doesn't make a difference to me, but I do understand that there will be boosting here. We also learned that the Taken will remain in some patrol areas, so rip your bounties. If you, like me, are sick of the Taken spawning in and despawning all of the enemies that you need to kill to complete your bounties, you may be upset about this. It is what it is. More variety of enemies in the game, I guess, is a good thing. I am just sick of the Taken in patrol. Also, any open quests you're currently working on will remain open when the Rise of Iron DLC ships. So if you've got something like the Chaperone quest and you're working on it now, you're going to have to keep working on it after Rise of Iron. It's not going to be like the Taken King where it actually completes any open quests you have in your inventory and gives you the rewards from that quest. So mainly I'm thinking about the Chaperone here. A lot of people have been having difficulty with the Chaperone quest. It doesn't look like there's any relief in sight with Rise of Iron. No word on engrams. They kind of dodged the question on whether or not engrams that you're holding in your inventory will decrypt to year 3 light levels or Rise of Iron light levels, or will reward Rise of Iron exotics. I'm going to assume they won't. I'm holding on to them anyway, just in case they do, and worst comes to worst, I can open them after Rise of Iron and get Cryptarch rep for them. So it is a long podcast. There's a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily going to interest everybody who listens to it. If you'd like to get a too long didn't listen version of it, Reddit user Moites has actually put up a full summary on Reddit. I'll put a link down in the description for anybody who's interested. It's a nice, easy to read list, and you can just get the bullet points from the Game Informer interview. Something awesome you may want to check out, King of Pablo released the hottest montage on the net. This one just features different community members from the Milky Sirloins clan. King of Pablo actually took a bunch of clips from the Milky Sirloins clan members, put them together into one awesome montage, put some great music on top of it, released it to the world on YouTube. It's a really fun watch. You might see some people you recognize inside of that montage. It's worth a look. Definitely check it out. Link in the description. Reddit user Mercules904 actually posted a wonderful guide on special weapons classes, subclasses, archetypes, how they're useful, what they're best at, what they're not good for, when they're most useful in PvE and in PvP. This one is actually going to be really interesting, not just for Destiny noobs, but for some veterans who don't necessarily use all of the different classes of special weapons on a daily basis. For example, sidearms or fusion rifles. If you've ever wanted to dip your toe into fusion rifles, but don't know what the differences are between the archetypes, definitely check this post out. It's got a lot of good information in it. On a personal note, I'd like to thank everybody for the amazing support on the initial video of this series yesterday. As you know, it was our first shot at this format, and the initial response has been really supportive. That being said, I definitely heard your criticism, I read your comments, and I definitely see that there are areas that can be improved, and I'm going to work on that in the future. Also, I intend this series to be a roundup of everything the Destiny community has to offer, and I'm definitely going to need your guys' help to get that done. No one man can see everything that's released in the Destiny community, so if you see something that you'd like to see discussed or featured on Good Morning Guardians, either leave a comment below or shoot me a tweet with the hashtag Good Morning Guardians in it so I'll know exactly what it regards to. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.